right, Sticks and Bricks, episode 2. Me and Michael Coxen are back in the studio. Can tell we're both married. It's Friday night.
Exactly. Drinking Spindrift in
sir.
Celsius.
Cheers. What are you drinking? Spindrift? I didn't see that. I went Celsius. Still looking for a sponsor, by the way. Anybody out there wants to? I think the drink is the way to go. No question about it. So, yeah, I got a lot of stuff, man. Let's just dig in. So, we do this company rating, Ron and I. Ron was on the last show. He's my partner, Lifeguard Pools, for a little line there. We talk every day. Ron's my therapist, my business partner, pool builder. We do this thing where we rate companies if we had good experience. And then we do this thing where we don't like companies if we had a bad experience. So I want to start off with, I go back and forth to Florida. Mm-hmm. Okay, fly American Airlines. I have hundreds of thousands of miles with American Airlines.
Wow.
It's a love-hate relationship. Do you have any experience with American Airlines?
Very little. I'm a Delta guy.
I think I may be becoming a Delta guy.
I'm also, just a quick tangent, I'm a what's the cheapest flight guy. I flew Spirit to LA last weekend.
Ooh.
It sucked far less than I expected.
Okay, not bad. Well, when I go back and forth to Florida, I have a certain time that I want to be there. I don't want to spend all day. It's the shortest route. I used to get a Whataburger in Dallas, DFW as my route. I've had a lot of things happen, but American Airlines, I think I have 400,000 miles. I've reached this level called Advantage Platinum Pro, which I thought was the highest, but these airlines hide things. There's higher than these, but for all that money, I try to fly first class just because I'm sort of a big guy and I get a lot more work done and they feed me. So I got a plastic Advantage Platinum Pro thing for my luggage now, so I don't have to fill out the paper one.
Okay.
And they even put the little plastic thing in there. And then they gave me
a luggage tag.
Luggage tag. They gave me 6 cards that I can take my valuable time and fill out on their employees.
To recognize outstanding service.
See, I thought I was going to get free drink tickets.
You're working for them now.
Yeah, it's kind of like that checkout at the grocery store thing.
Yeah.
So
I think I got a luggage tag at a trade show I went to.
Wow.
And it was free.
Wow. That was that was really anticlimactic.
Wow, so you've spent you thought you were getting something nice.
I don't know how many tens of thousands to get that, but
that's why I don't bother with these programs. I think they're a total racket.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
If you spend $400,000, you're going to get a luggage tag and a free Coca-Cola.
Yeah, well, the Coca-Cola you get free anyway
I get that anyway. So you got a glass of champagne.
Yeah, but I didn't get a glass of champagne. I got a plastic
400 grand
tag. Yep. And I do have a Rocket Mortgage story, but I want to jump to you because you said you had some news. You said you had some news.
Man, I'm feeling on the spot, so no one even knows this. I actually just told my admins, Magenta, which is my independent brokerage, we are going national to Real Brokerage. It's official.
Oh,
we have been
I've heard a lot about
courted
yeah.
by this company, fastest growing brokerage in the nation. They went from 2,000 to 33,000 agents just in the past few years. And I'm partnering with Brendan King.
I know Brendan King. Yeah,
Great
I know
guy.
the name. Yeah.
I think, we've run in the same circles.
Yeah.
And I've known him for years, investing side, broker side, just a guy I respect and love. And I reached out to him because he's been kind of courting me to come over there for a while.
Congrats.
I was like, hey,
yeah,
what's the deal? Like, I'm ready to talk seriously. So long story short, I became the broker of Magenta about a year ago. I've always been an agent first.
Yep.
Love production, love my clients, and I love coaching and training. So I was like, cool, I can be a broker, but being a broker is more than coaching and training. Unfortunately, it involves this stuff like law, compliance, paperwork.
A lot of paperwork.
And with our agents, I said, this part doesn't bring me joy.
Right.
So now I get to move over, focus on coaching, training, and production with somebody I really like doing it with.
And you're great at that, by the way. So that's a match made in heaven.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, I would be. And I've heard nothing but good about that company.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of looking as to what I want to do with my brokerage license. And I looked at them. They are the trend. That's the thing that's coming. The LPTs, the Reels, the EXPs, there's models like that popping up all over the place, but I don't think anybody's got a package like they do. I think
what was most attractive to me is they're actually built by like tech entrepreneurs.
Yep.
So you got people from Amazon, Apple, Uber, DocuSign run this company, not real estate brokers. They got people who are real estate brokers, of course.
Right.
I think like
of course,
a tech company more. And just the industry is changing. I'm a big AI guy. They're coming for us for sure. But obviously it's like all about leveraging the technology not getting eliminated by it. And I see this company on the forefront. And there's your Compasses and things like that, and Sirhan's giving it a go. But they excite me. They really do. Like, I think they get the future.
You know, I met Robert Refkin.
Cool.
Yeah.
How is he in
I got
person?
to hang out with him, just like he is on the
Yeah.
interviews and stuff.
Divisive guy, right? I mean,
Divisive.
love him or hate him. Like,
I don't know too many people that. I don't know. I mean, I'm more building than real estate. Do people hate him? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's just shaking up the industry, and there's. I
couldn't
the old
see-
guard doesn't like that.
Yeah, my first impression was I wasn't impressed, to be honest with you. But as I've listened to him over time, I mean, obviously Goldman Sachs, he's no dummy. I'm not. Again, I want to be honest on the show. Otherwise, people just aren't going to watch the show. So I don't want to be going out. When I had a very well-educated boss. He used to use this term, this very crass term, and he was not a crass person, but he said, it's like a campaign. The first one to call him a blankety blank, and it was an old LBJ saying, and it was a pig something. So I mean,
Use my imagination.
yeah, I mean, it's like I'm trying to get the point across without calling someone a name or calling someone that I knew I shouldn't wear. This watch keeps banging on the table. But I want to be honest in the show. Otherwise, it's just not going to be interesting, to be honest with you. And the Compass thing I looked at really carefully. I tried to get them to buy my company. They said they would never come to Las Vegas, and they really never did. They just ended up buying every other brokerage in Las Vegas, every other national name brand brokerage. Yeah. But I've interviewed with them all. I've interviewed with Ivan Schur. He was cool. I literally called up. I was in his office an hour later. I was very flattered by that. But long story short, we could do a whole show on real estate brokerages. Of everyone I looked at, I think there were 20 over about a 2-year period. Mm-hmm. Honestly, Real was the most interesting one that I talked to, and the people that I talked to there really had it together. And actually, most of my old real estate company is in Real. Daryl Hannah joined Jillian Batchelor, and a lot of their agents were in my office. I shut my company down in 2017. I had a Class A office space, and I really just wanted to build. And so I didn't want to be a part. I like you said, being a broker, I was doing too much. I couldn't do it all. I couldn't do the building. I couldn't do all the brokering. I missed selling, and I wasn't selling anymore. Mm-hmm. I wasn't dealing with clients anymore. I wasn't even dealing with my own agents. It's the time constraints are amazing.
So I don't know your age in 2017, but I'm going on 42, and a midlife awakening is the word I would say.
Yeah,
is happening and has been happening since I've turned 40, essentially. And it's all about prioritizing time.
Yes,
which is the scarcest asset there is.
There is. That's right.
And you reach a point of, I think, success and maturity where like nobody's going to make me do anything I don't want to do. And that comes from a place of being, I think, on the second half, let's say, of life, statistically speaking.
Yep.
And also when you've reached a level of success. A little bit more than
that, but in theory, yes.
I think the average, I think 79 is the expected life expectancy.
Dude, 79 is literally.
It's halftime, just statistically speaking.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do what makes me happy every day. That's where I was leading this decision from.
Well, I think you're also using technology through Real. I'm thinking that's what you're doing.
Yes.
To gain more time back.
And through just technology outside of Real as well. Brendan King, my new partner, and we're leveraging, Claude Cowork, OpenClaw, building sites, building businesses that will be AI centric. And I had a chat with my admins today about their role in the future, and it was just the first of many conversations. But transaction coordination, can be pretty much automated here in the near future.
It'd probably be better if it was automated because there'd be no question. It's either check the box or it's not checked.
Yeah, and I think we are going to have humans who run the company, including myself and Brendan and a few admins, but we're going to be able to do thousands of transactions a year with a few people as opposed to like 100.
Do you want to know how transaction used to go? Yeah, I'd sit in my desk. I still have that desk. It came out of a naval base from the 1940s, and my agents would come in with their manila folders.
Yeah.
And then I would say, so-and-so, this isn't signed, and then they'd go out to their car and then come back 10 minutes later, and they said, oh, it was signed. You must not have seen that. And I'm like, okay, this is not good. So, but yeah, no, the automation, I think, is one thing that should be automated, and there's no discussion about it either. You either have it done or your check doesn't come. And now your check comes immediately, right?
Yeah, we're wired straight
Yeah.
from escrow.
Yeah,
Same
so,
day, depending on the time.
All that's good stuff.
Yeah,
That's
nobody
all good
wants, you don't mess with my check. So yeah, I mean, that's funny. That keeps you up at night as a broker.
Well,
Those signatures.
several brokerages were started in town because the checks never came. Talk to John Gafford why he left a certain brokerage, or maybe it was one of the two. The brokerage folded. Nobody knew it was folding. All the money was gone. Because you used to wait a month for a check, 2 weeks for a check. You know, you could go buy a Lamborghini in that period of time. You know, if your books aren't balanced, maybe your check went to the Lamborghini. So no, I'm happy for you, man. Hopefully you can do some. We're already theoretically doing business. I want to do more. So that's great.
Keep building.
I went back to the last show. I cut you off on the book. We'll go to the book thing, but you were about ready to tell me your favorite book because we're going to do book of the month. I don't want to talk about it yet, but it's going to be Cadillac Desert. But what was yours?
Yeah, Die with Zero. So on the theme.
Is that like Die Broke?
I don't know. I haven't read Die
There's a book
Broke.
called Die Broke.
Die with Zero is die with no money, but actually
had a
what
pen.
it means is die with nothing left inside of you.
Oh,
So
okay. No, mine was literally die, like this gentleman said, spend all your money because you
That's
can't take it with you.
basically also a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But it's tied together. So he teaches you what to do with your money in different decades of your life that will translate to the highest and best experience for you at that age. So in your 20s, presumably you're broke. So go to Europe, meet random partners, sleep on the beach, stay in hostels, have a good time, stay out all night and party and do that. Because when you're 80, you ain't doing that.
Nope.
But you're 80, you might be worth some money. You're going to stay at a really nice hotel. Spend that money in your 80s. Or you got kids and you're saying to yourself, hey, I'm saving it for my kids. Take the kids with you to the 5-star hotel in Europe and have a great time while you're alive. And basically spend your money and your time to the fullest while you're alive. Because, you can't take it with you.
Well, I was having a chat with ChatGPT one night, and I don't know what it was on.
Best friend.
Yeah, and there was when I got out of boot camp, there was an old Marine colonel, and I couldn't remember his name. And ChatGPT actually said you can probably find his name. We did find his name, and I think it was Livingston. He's still alive. Talk about living past 79. But his advice to us was, when you get out of boot camp, travel. Obviously, when you're in the Marine Corps, like Carg Island might be one of your travel destinations, but nonetheless,
Something.
Yeah, nonetheless, do exactly what you just said. Go travel, do all those things because you may not realize it now, but you just can't do it. I was talking to Jeremy about that, our show producer, with the theme song that we're going to use on this show, and you just end up with these invisible chains, these responsibilities, and you just can't do that. So I got to read that one now.
Yeah, whether you have kids or like aging parents, there's always like life happens.
Yep.
Or if, by the way, we may not make it to that age. You might not make it to be a millionaire if that's your goal. Like, don't put off the vacation until you have this money. And there's a difference between financial irresponsibility and like spending it appropriately. I'm not saying just put yourself in debt, but stop delaying gratification to when you retire, for example, because you might
mistake.
not make it.
Yep.
Physically, you could die or get disabled or XYZ could happen. There's chains, invisible chains that come about. And when you're young, you're like, oh, I'll do it later. And just as older folks know, later comes very quickly. So it inspired me. I take one big trip a year now because I barely traveled. I just worked my ass off in my 20s and 30s.
I did the same.
I've never even been to Canada. I've been
Canada's
to
a great
Mexico
country,
once,
actually.
right? So I'm like, how is this? I'm 39 years old at the time. I haven't been to Canada. So we went to Japan. We've been to Australia, New Zealand, did a Mediterranean cruise. So I've like just been inspired by this book, one epic trip a year.
Yeah.
And no matter what. Even if that epic trip is going to Banff in Canada. But just getting out of my comfort zone. And
Did you go to Banff?
No, that's coming up
Banff
soon.
is freaking awesome.
I hear.
I love to make fun of Canadians, and I actually refer to them as the giant retards on our northern doorstep. But I love Canadians.
The only thing we have on them is they're nice. That's why
They're
I watch
not that
comedians.
nice. Have you ever been in a bar fight with a Canadian?
No, tell me that story.
No. I love to. Canadians are like Australians. They do what's called they take the piss out of you. They will insult you. I remember I was in a bar in Vancouver, and I was very complimentary towards this person in this bar. And I was waiting. We were waiting on some people to come over, and he goes, I love America. The only problem is it's full of Americans. So I mean, so you got to get into that ebb and flow with them. But very cool people. A lot of our stars are from Canada. There's just so much I could say about it. But yeah, I've been to Western Canada, all around it, and it's an awesome country. So go for sure. But this isn't a travel show, dude. So
Just die with zero. Whatever that is for you, whatever's inside of your soul, let it out.
there's a book came out in the 80s or 90s called The Millionaire Next Door. I'm sure you've read it.
One of my favorites.
And then the other one was Die Broke that came out with that. So The Millionaire Next Door is like how to become a millionaire. The other one's like kind of what you're saying in a very crass way. Fuck it and live your life.
Yeah, Millionaire Next Door is the opposite.
Yes.
It's like
drive the Ford F-150 till the wheels
Yes.
fall off.
Yep.
And I've been lucky enough at 60, I've done it all. I've had the beautiful cars and I've had the shitty pickup. And I honestly did. I am not. I talked about this with Josh on his show. I'm not where I want to be financially, but I have very little regrets in my life. I really don't have a whole lot that I regret.
That's awesome.
I mean, I still feel like I got a ways to go, to get maybe to some of those goals financially, but I just don't have a lot of regrets. I mean, I do think about it too. I dwell on things and God, should I have done this or done that? And I probably would have done it.
I mean, what you're saying is if you were to die today, you would be like, cool, I'm dying with zero.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, one thing about being in the Marine Corps is you are pretty much prepared to die all the time. So
and a lot of people don't face that.
yeah, and so you do kind of want to. I mean, it's like I wasn't in combat. I don't have my combat action ribbon, but I was on embassy duty where we'd get literally 100 death threats a day. We're going to blow you up today, and then another one come here, we're going to blow you up tomorrow, and it's a very high stress thing. And when you do live like maybe a cop lives like that, or whatever. But anyway, very good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Excellent point. So I got to take this off, dude. I'm clinking all over the place. Okay, we covered that. Big uptick in real estate sales this month. It was like 40%
in February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the March isn't out yet.
I know, but
dude,
that
was
be good.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was, I go to my little graph and chart, and I'm like, what happened, man?
Yeah. Well, the war has changed things. Interest rates went right back up. What happened was rates touched 5.99. That psychological barrier.
Yes.
For a day.
Yep.
And
well, I did drive by a credit union on the way here. It was like, you're right. It was like 5.91 or 4 or something like that. There's nothing wrong with 5.99 rate, by the way. Absolutely nothing wrong with that rate. Yeah.
That's why sales
or
ticked up.
6.5.
But I shit you not, the stock market going down, things have just kind of hit the brakes. I just read in homes.com that home sales hit a 3-year low.
Okay, I'm with you. I mean, I've got
had a quick moment.
I've got the war. I've got the war on the show thing. Do you just want to cover it now?
Sure.
Because I think the war is going to be. I think the war is going to. I love that song, man. I think the war is going to be over in about 30 days. We were talking about the Marine Corps earlier. They sent 5,000 Marines today. They sent 50,000 Marines. And, in the song, the Marine Corps hymn, the shores of Tripoli are in the song. So all I see online, and I'm online too much, is oil prices have gone up, which they did tick down, and then they ticked back up. But the problem now is the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is a 20-mile strait. The U.S. Navy and the U.S. Marine Corps and the Air Force can, if they wanted to, they could secure that probably in about 10 days, 2 weeks, and then everything will flow back and forth, and then oil prices will come back down. And now we have a new Fed chairman coming in May, which I know he can't just flip a switch and lower the rates, but the mentality will be that the rates will start to come down to, I made most of my wealth late 90s, early 2000s when I was building custom homes at 7% to maybe 9%. Granted, they weren't.
There was a pretty big war going on then too.
Right, but they weren't 4 to 500 or 2,000 a foot though. I will say that. I'm not going to lie and say
you were building them for 100 something.
Yeah, probably 150, maybe 200, 250. If I got to 250, 300 on a custom home in McDonald Highlands in that late 90s, early 2000s, I got really, really worried. Now I don't start getting worried until we hit 800, 900. I'm still feeling okay.
What is it about war that makes people panic in the real estate market?
I don't know. I really don't honestly know. A lot of money gets made in war, so I'm not really sure. The economy generally goes up during war. I'm not for war, by the way.
No. I think the word is uncertainty. People pause.
Okay.
People pause on everything. They're like, oh, we're not taking a vacation because of the war.
And I'm really, we're talking
People
about,
just freak out.
We're talking about this 60 thing, dude. Wait till you're turning 60, with the mentality stuff.
Sure.
I am so tired, in a sense, the fatigue thing of really and I have kids. So God gave me these little kids, so I didn't go too far off the deep end about the angry old man thing, right? Because I got little kids, so I got to keep my attitude in check. But the pussification of this country, every little thing that comes on the news, dude, there are Israelis that like when the sirens go off, the kids just get up out of bed, grab a snack, and go sit in the hallway till the bombing stop, and then they go back to bed or watching their TV show. And we get like freaky. Geez, I don't want to buy a house because 14,000 miles away, a bomb went off. And I mean, and I'm a nervous ninny. I really am.
Do they have the media we have? Like our media just
I think the media
pummels us with fear.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Obviously, they have the same. If you look at, was it Al Jazeera or Al Jazeera? I mean, they have the technology we do. Do they treat things the way they do, or scare people the way they do? I don't know.
Yeah, like the news is the news if you let it be, but in this country, it's all slanted reporting meant to keep your eyeballs glued to the screen so we can sell you more.
Okay, the whole what was the song? The bubbleheaded bleach blonde who comes on at 5. What was that song that came out in the late '80s?
Is that The Cure?
No, it'll come to me. It was Don Henley, but he wrote the song about the news media, and yes,
That was in the late '80s. Yeah, I've just
Late
started
80s,
watching the Murdoch family documentary on Netflix.
I heard it was really good, actually.
Just in the beginning. I mean, yeah, that guy is the king of let's make this a if it bleeds, it leads type of headline to sell newspapers and make money off of people.
And I was living in Australia in the late '80s when Fox was becoming Fox.
Yeah, he's an Australian guy.
He's Australian.
Yeah, he gave up his citizenship so that he could have a TV network and a newspaper network. Reagan did that for him.
But we're not jumping because I wanted to bring up this war thing because of how it's affecting real estate, and I just don't know.
It's just fear. Like I asked you that in sincerity. Like I don't know why people stop making decisions about buying a house in Las Vegas when a bomb goes off 14,000 miles away.
Well, I think just we're moving fast here, and the sincerity factor has to happen, or we just aren't going to have a good format. And so let's continue to be sincere about it. I don't even think the interest rates have anything to do with it. I think housing is priced too high, and it's because of COVID. I actually have a sheet.
So yeah, affordability is the index that I care about.
Well, you're going to laugh at me because I sat on a plane. I was talking about. You remember we talked about this last week? I just sat on a plane with my HP 12C, which no one even knows what it is. So that's what happens to the price of a house. I just amortized
3% annual.
3% annual income.
You can do this on.
I wouldn't even know how to do it. I just did it manually because all I had was my HP 12C.
You don't see this anymore, ladies and gentlemen. This is a manual compound.
Look at 3% annual.
3% annual increase.
Did I even do 30 years or did I do 20?
Let's see. You're at January 2026. Oh, you're starting in January 2026.
Yeah, if a house just went up
$385,000,
right, which is roughly median, right?
485 is median in Vegas.
Well, I mean,
but that's just fine. 385, and then in 24 years, he got to 2050. It'll be worth $782,625, a net value increase of $397,625 to your net worth. So what you're saying is at a very conservative 3% annual increase, if I buy an average to slightly below average home today, it'll basically double in value.
Yeah, I'm saying that, and I'm saying one other thing. That happened in 1 year in 2022. 80% is what houses went up in 2022.
So yeah, very abnormal. So we need a correction.
Yeah. There's this guy I want to talk about. I hope he watches the show. He's up in Utah, Colton something or other. I'll find it here in a minute in my notes. And he's just preaching doom and gloom and a crash. And there's not going to be a crash, but we need a reset. So what are we afraid of?
Yeah, there's a difference between a correction and a crash.
And then on the back of that, while you're looking at it, I have somebody's demo list, so I need that back.
So, like everybody, again, media sensationalism. Colton is just to name one. There's hundreds out there. They're in my feed.
Colton Lindsay.
The word crash.
Yeah, Colton Lindsay. Doom and gloom.
Doom and gloom. Because it sells. If it bleeds, it leads. It's clickbait. Yeah. Like the data says correction, not crash. Do you know that affordability actually went up for the first time in a long time?
I didn't know that.
This big ship. So affordability, for those who don't know, prices, rates, and wages. These three things, there's an index, the affordability index. It's a national thing. You can look it up. That has been people have been getting crushed because rates have been high, prices stayed stubbornly high, and they weren't getting raises.
Right.
Now, wages have actually gone up, so our labor market isn't all that bad. Again, the media tells you it is, but people are making a little bit more. Prices have come down a little bit in most markets, including this one, and rates have come down a decent amount. So it's not like, oh, everything's affordable again. But with those three factors moving, it's actually more affordable now than it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, I saw inflation did drop down a little bit, but I didn't relate it back to what you just said. And I do have some very, very smart friends, way smarter than I'll ever be, that will basically go out and say on a limb, you'll probably not see house prices go down much. You'll see rates go down, and you'll see incomes have to come up.
Yes, it's income. The wages thing has been and I mean, so that's another issue. I don't know how much they'll come up again with AI and automation. Like
I mean, it's hard to say.
You're going to have a job that I think, we mentioned about transaction coordination, like 3 people are going to be able to handle a lot more work where it used to be 30 people because of automation. So now, I mean, we're talking about a 90% decrease in workforce.
Well, I've got a meeting on, I went to 2 hockey games this week, by the way, which I've only been to 7 hockey games.
Go Knights.
Yeah, in my entire life, I think. I've been to maybe 7, 8 hockey games, went to 2 this week. One of the guys that had us go, that owns these seats, he and I hit it off. I was trying not to talk to him too much because I could be a chatty Cathy and I really don't want to bug the guy and never get invited back. We ended up hitting it off really well. We're going to actually have lunch on Monday. He's in the tech industry and he's scared to death of AI. And he tried to tell my partner and I over drinks, way too many drinks at that hockey game, by the way. It's one of those big boxes with the carving stations and all that stuff.
Awesome.
And he said, they're going to get you too. And he said that to Frank and I, my construction VP. I go, you're not getting us. Well, yeah, they're going to get all of us. I go, they're not going to get us, bro. I said, when I see those AIs of how houses are built, like I'll get everyone. I can't believe the people that send me these things. Some of the smartest people, and it's a compliment to me when something blips up that they thought of me somewhere and sent this. Yeah. And they send the most ridiculous videos of, like the what's that stuff my kids are always playing with, these toys that they make in the machines, the AI toys they make. You know it. Yes, you do. 3D printed houses.
Yeah.
And they send me a video of a house floating in air, like, almost like crapping out the walls and stuff like that. And they're like, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, how's the electrical and plumbing run? I don't know. How the windows go in there? How is that structurally sound? I don't know. And by the way, it's floating in air. There's no foundation in your video. And I don't mean to be mean, but that depiction of how a house is built is so far away from how a house is built. Yeah. It's amazing.
It's edited.
Yeah.
To, guess what? Get you to watch and share it.
Exactly right. And my old alma mater, Pulte, they're working with it. And,
I think it has legs. I think it could be a thing. I think it can decrease construction costs. We have an affordability crisis here.
I'm all for it.
It still takes a contractor to say, what about plumbing? What about electrical engineers?
Do you know
a more efficient way of building?
I mean, do you know I could probably put my kids through college on what I have spent on this Mad Max concept that I've built? I mean, yes, we built the house. Yes, it was profitable. Yes, we're going to build more. But the R&D on that for a little guy like me is unbelievable. Yeah. Now, Pulte's playing with in Florida, and that's another subject I want to broach at some point. The typical construction worker or construction admin person, they are not. I'm actually at that age where I worked with Mr. Pulte. I would sit down and have fish sandwiches with Bill at the table, who's no longer with us. God bless him. The guy was an icon, a legend.
And his son runs the company, though, now. Right?
That's one of his grandsons or nephews. I don't know if Pulte's Irish, but there's a lot of Pultes in that family. They're all over the place. So but yeah, I think it's his grandson. And so I'm at this I think it's a cool age. It's not a cool age if you're, let's say I wasn't married and you're out in bars. That's not a cool age. But from a business standpoint, to be able to have sat and had a fish sandwich with Bill Pulte and then watch this robot that they're using in Florida to lay brick, because everything's concrete block in Florida. So they've got a machine now that does all the heavy lifting. Yeah. Yeah. So it's out there.
Yeah, it's happening. And then it's just less labor. I mean, actually,
it's all hardcore labor based.
AI itself did a study about where the jobs are in the future, and they are trades. It said, go to trade school. Plumbing, roofing, electrical is the safest right now.
Plumbing, roofing, electrical. Okay.
Framing is probably underneath because of what we're talking about. But these
framing carpentry.
humanoid robots are going to be coming later to put roofs on.
Well,
I don't know when.
Well, I got to tell you this. I don't think he'll watch this. If he does, Bruce, this is a compliment. Don't take it the wrong way. And the guy's name is Bruce Grobstein. I just made fun of him. He's my Jesus Jewish framer, one of the best framers I've ever worked with in my life. But I have to say, and Bruce is a handsome gent, but when you know framers, when you look at their hands and their skin and their eyes, and dude, it's a rough life. Yeah. I mean, it's this thing where, yeah, I tell my son, be a framer, be a plumber, you can do that, and you'd better do very well and figure out how to jump from agent, broker to business owner. You need to go from electrician to electrical company owner to.
Yeah. You don't want to be digging trenches when you're 60.
Because it can turn on you, and in one injury, it can turn on you. It's like being an athlete, dude, without the union. Well, maybe they do have unions. It depends.
Good point.
So anyway, all that stuff's really deep stuff. But I tell you, I have a house. No, this is the Florida Vegas thing again. I go back and forth because I literally technically live in both places. Yes, I put a house, beautiful home. It looks like it was built in Marbella, Spain. We'll get a picture, Jeremy, in the next show and show the house. When I finished the house last year, not a massive custom home, but a nice little custom home. When I finished it before Hurricane Ian 3 years ago, it was $650,000 is what it appraised at.
Okay.
I decided to list it because I have other lots. I want to free that asset up. We've lived in it for 2 years. You've literally beat the living crap out of it. I'm over whenever I have a new home, I want to beat the home up. I don't want to give it to someone. You know what I mean?
You want to stress test it.
Yeah. So I got it at $479,900 with 2 price drops and have not received a phone call in 3 months. That's Southwest Florida.
Man.
Okay.
So you're taking a bath on it.
I'm just going to keep it. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
I got it at in fact, it was our model. It's actually got our company name on the door. If you walked up to my house, it would say the name of the company, and so we'll either leave it. It's in a place called Model Row in Cape Coral, so it's a safe investment. I'm just trying to say, and my land basis was 0 because it was in our family portfolio. So I'm not in trouble with the house. I don't want to make it sound like, I'm in trouble with it.
It's a sign of the times.
It's a sign of where that market's at. Now, let me just tell you, yesterday I got my house back. In Green Valley Ranch, the renter moved out. We'll be occupying that home again. And I said to my wife, Teresa, I said, let's just put it on the market. It's going to be empty for 3 months while I repaint it and this and that. I'm just curious. And she's like, it's like kind of like when Melania said to Donald Trump when he ran for president, be careful because you'll win. Mm-hmm. My wife said, don't put it on the market unless you're planning on selling it. I'm like, it's not going to sell.
No, but why would you put it on the market then? She's right. Listen to your wife.
Put it on the market. I think I paid $350 for the house.
Yeah.
Put it on the market for $599,900. I'd work late that night. It was 1:00 in the morning. Had an offer by 2 a.m. Big mistake. Raised it to $675 immediately, which destroyed my position on MLS. And then by morning, I had 45 people wanting to see the house.
When was this?
Yesterday. Yeah. So the tale of this city compared to...
Next time, I'll help you price your property. Yeah, it sounds like you grossly underpriced it.
And then Teresa goes. Teresa's nickname is Tillo because she's on Zillow. She said the house is worth $705. I go, that piece of shit isn't worth $705. And she's like, Michael. So my neighbor calls me. I've got new neighbors across the street.
Pissed you. Why are you
underpricing he's my bro. It's a young couple. He's a builder like me.
Yeah.
He moved in. His name's Michael. My name's Michael. I get a call now I've gone to bed. I've woken up at 5. I only had 3 hours sleep. I got a lot of shit done.
Jesus.
And he goes, bro, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, why is your
fire sale?
A neighbor walked by and she said, did you hear about that? He lives right across the street. Neighbor walked by and said, did you hear about that house? And he goes, yeah, that's Mike's house. He goes, it's for sale. He goes, it is not. I just talked to him yesterday. And she goes, it's for sale. So I go, dude, I'm a real estate broker. I'm addicted to. I just want to see what would happen. Like I'm smelling cash, dude. I mean,
I hear you.
And he goes, well, what happened? I go, dude, the phone has been ringing. I had 45 phone calls. One lady reported me, this realtor who farms my neighborhood. She called me up and asked me if she could have a house key. And I said, no, you can't have a house key because I didn't have a lockbox on it. So she reported me because she couldn't see it. She couldn't show it. She was mad. because she knows how in demand these houses are in this particular neighborhood in Green Valley. So then I offend my neighbor because I said, I was talking to Teresa. She said 705. I go, these houses were 75. He goes, Mike, I paid 708 for mine. And then we remodeled it. So it's like, I'm like, wow. So
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. I ran like a scared kitten and took it off the market. She's like, be careful what you wish for.
Wow.
And then the guys that called me, Mark Weinberg called me. Hadn't talked to you. Must know him from Berkshire. He called me good, and I didn't. All I saw was Berkshire, and I didn't bother even calling it. I'll call them all eventually. And then I read down a little further, and it was Mark, and he goes, "What's the matter? Don't want to talk to me, Mike?" So I called him right away, and I said, "Dude, I didn't see your name on there." And I told him the story I just told you. He's laughing his ass off. He bought in Bradenton down by me.
Okay.
So we have that in common. And I've just always liked him.
Yeah, the moral of the story is if it's priced right, it's going to sell.
That's the moral of the story. And then I was going to say how much maybe more dynamic Vegas is than Southwest Florida, but we don't know how dynamic Southwest Florida is if the property isn't priced right. We don't know how dynamic. And like I said, my realtor per se, if I had I would call you my realtor in Vegas. If I wanted to buy something and I was busy and I couldn't I would call you. If I want to sell something, I may call you.
Yeah, you should call me next time.
Same thing as
Make you an extra $100,000.
Mike with Compass down there in Cape Coral. He owns a standalone building right on Cape Coral Parkway, and we're trying to price that house when it went on the market. And I said something. He goes, Mike, no one's ever said this to me. I said, it had a perceived value of $650. He goes, exactly. He goes, it really never was worth $650. You know that, right? And I'm like, yes, I know that. But theoretically, the day that house was done, when the appraisal and the valuation would have taken place on that day, which was 2022, the height of the market, $650,000. Yeah. Now it was worth $650,000 for about 14 days, and actually down there, it even gets more confusing because it's withstood Hurricane Ian in a market where half of the houses didn't have roofs.
Perceived value.
So then it really went up in value. I was getting offers to rent it for $4,000 a month because people had no place to live. Okay. So I really was like, damn, I wish I had 5 of these. And then here we are 2 years, 3 years later.
Can't
unload it.
We needed this correction.
That's the whole breathless point of this. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So it's okay. And you own properties, I own properties, and nobody wants to see their values go down, but we need it because it's fair for everybody. And this is the thing about free markets is like fairness kind of surfaces over time if you're patient enough. When enough buyers go, you know what, I'm out, the market's going to respond. But in the frenzy, there's still enough buyers out there for a deal. There's just not enough buyers out there for a retail home. And we have to say the average buyer right now is in deep shit. Like the sales I see, I wanted to ask you, of those 45 calls, how many were investors? Because you're at a price point.
I would say, okay, the one that came in at 2:00 in the morning was an investor. I can smell a wholesaler across the room. In fact, it was probably AI. Nobody's up looking at houses at 2:00 in the morning.
Tillo is.
Right. So actually, she probably is.
But yeah, the median home is.
I would honestly say most of them were organic buyers because of Ryan Field called me, Mark Weinberg.
So they see a deal.
These are normal realtors with normal buyers. One other weird thing, when I was a realtor, like a real realtor, I noticed in neighborhoods, like I listed this house in Summerlin. I don't know a lot about Summerlin. I've run building companies and stuff in there, but I've never been on the ground like you. Like I would be the captain that graduated from Harvard and got his bars. You would be like the field sergeant that knows, the terrain and Captain, I wouldn't walk over there because you can get your legs blown up. So I listed this house by accident in Summerlin. And I was getting calls from every realtor, and one of them, I think her name was Tanya something. You might know her. As realty executives back then. She had to have this house, and she goes, "It's for my dad, and I have to have it." And they just know the neighborhoods. They know that there's kids running in the streets, and they know it's schools, and they just know everything about. They know the code to the gate for Christ's sakes because their best friend lives in there. Right. And I have a house in one of those type neighborhoods, and one of them called, and it was for her mother-in-law. She's like, "We've been watching this neighborhood." And I can't, and now this is going to sound like an egomaniacal comment. My mind doesn't even work on normal housing. Like I lay in bed at night and figure out ways for people to give me money to build the top of
Yeah.
a mountain, and then I want to use rammed earth, and I want to use, I want
Dream homes.
Yes, that's how my mind works. So to me, these other little houses,
Yeah.
they're just
Not even there.
they're not even there to me.
Yeah, I think about those people, man. Like I'm a believer in the American dream, and there's people who can debate me all day about, it is, yes, it's cheaper to rent today, but stop thinking about today and start thinking about the future. Like wealth is made in real estate.
You're such a
as
good realtor.
Michael
man.
has illustrated here.
Yeah.
It's a cliche, but whose mortgage are you paying? Do you want to pay yours or somebody
100%.
else's? You're going to be 60 one day, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you like to have a mortgage paid off? Like I bought my first house. My wife bought our first house in 2009, and like that was what now 17 years ago. Jeez, like that was
A time. Well, it goes back to
was
the first
yesterday.
conversation, dude. It just flies. That's why I can go out and have no regrets. And dude, I should have had 5 paid off houses.
Yeah,
the way I've lived my life. But
we're that house is almost paid off. And
Well,
it's
yeah,
incredible to see.
yeah,
And I
I
look at
can-
the balance.
well-
I mean, I lived there. Like I have to live somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right now I can hear it in the comments. I can hear people going, "Well, I can't afford a house." Yes, you can. Your standards are too high. You want a rammed earth house on a cliff. Yeah, you can't afford that.
do you-
You know, you can afford a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo, and you can rent out one of the rooms to your friend. You can afford that.
I'm helping out a mentor of mine. This
Get
guy.
started.
I'm helping out a mentor of mine. He's an old 83. He's not a young 83. He's an old 80. There are 83 year olds out there that I wouldn't want to get into a boxing ring with, but
Sure.
he's not one of them. He's
Take him.
he's a bit fragile and a brilliant new homes person. He was a MERM and this and that. We just helped him get into assisted living. Do you know how much that is?
Yeah, that's like 20 grand a month sometimes.
Dude, you're better off living. You're better off like Clint Eastwood in that movie where he was living in the old neighborhood,
Oh yeah.
named after the car. Is it El Camino? No, Gran Torino. Gran Torino, which is an
Ding,
awesome
ding,
car.
ding. Nice. One for the old guy.
You're better off being in Gran Torino in a house with gates in East LA, living in your home and making new friends with other cultures than spending $7,000 a month being spoon fed in a home somewhere.
By people from other
Yeah,
cultures.
you can always get guardian angels. You're going to end up it's America, bro. You're going to end up there no matter what anyway. Either that or just sell out and go to the other culture and live over there. It's a lot easier.
That's a good option too.
No, I love the fact that I've learned so much about you as a person. I thought I didn't think there really were people like you, actually. I really admire that's why you're in real estate.
I love selling $1 million homes. Don't get me wrong.
No, well, who doesn't? But I'm just
Phone
saying.
number is 702.
No, give it
the,
to him.
But in order for this thing to be sustainable,
I mean, our culture.
I am very apolitical, but our culture, our nation, I think people need home ownership and need to have that accessible. I'm watching this K-shaped economy. I'm watching this great divide. I'm watching AI take jobs, and it's not sustainable. I don't know who's arguing that this is sustainable.
What
I think
part?
people are just putting
Which
their-
part are you talking about? The house thing, or
All the above. So wages, can't afford a house, rates are too high, prices are too high. Jobs are starting to get eliminated, and will continue to do so. Like everyone's like, yeah, that's true, that's happening. Okay, what's the plan? So I just said the work of 30 can be done by 3. What are
well,
the
I haven't
27
seen
other people gonna do?
I haven't seen that yet.
It's not yet.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I
I
haven't seen
think
that yet.
everyone agrees that's coming, right?
Well, I made a comment here to myself. I think we're going to see the flattest year-over-year price graph in 100 years, because year-over-year is just like this, and then the recessions and
usually
booms.
like,
I think we're going to actually see just the straightest line we've ever seen it. I just personally, this same guy Colton Lindsay, I hope he watches this. I'd really now I'm not sure. He's pretty like he's kind of an outdoorsy guy. He's a Utah guy, but if my doctor would clear me, I'd get in the octagon with this guy. he bugs me that much.
There's a guy who bugs me who was on Instagram talking about, of all the previous real estate crashes, the signs are the same. And I was like,
what are
name
those?
more than one crash.
Exactly.
Why are you saying it?
Well,
like it's
there
plural?
have been crashes, but
In real estate?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Go on.
Texas.
I'm talking nationally. Like we've had one.
Oh, big global.
Yeah, we've had one.
I personally don't think that could happen again. I think that was the perfect storm.
I think
And I think that was
had one.
technology driven, by the way.
Historically, we've had one.
We had one. Yeah.
The rest have been corrections. Again, what's the difference?
Personally, we should just do a show on the Great Recession. But personally, I didn't lose any money in the Great Recession, but I didn't make any money for almost 3 years.
A lot of people lost a lot of money.
Yeah. I'm not. I was in a movie about that, by the way. I mean, yeah.
Plug it. What's
Yeah.
it called?
I forget. It was a shitty movie. It was a documentary called.
If you were in it definitely.
Oh, and I was also embedded by the New York Times during the Great Recession, and I'll pull that article up. And I've been in a lot of local newspapers, but I'd never really realized what the difference between the New York Times and like the Review Journal was. I was getting calls from people that I hadn't talked to in 20 years, but I was embedded. We had just had our little kids. They were so cute. And I was up in my big custom home, and somebody got my name, and I'm not going to say I was kind of made a victim of the media, but I definitely, just like you're talking about, there was a role they were looking for, and I fit their role.
Okay.
I was the guy that built the $1 million plus home, which was a lot of home back then, that wouldn't do the short sale I was like that old farmer in the Midwest that wouldn't give up his farm.
Held on.
Yeah. And so that was my role. So
I'm riding this thing out.
yeah, I remember I had this balcony overlooking the strip, and I was actually leaning over and talking to my baby, and it looked like I was hanging my head in despair. And he snapped the picture, and they used that. I mean, they're just so manipulative.
Believe none of what you read and half of what you see.
It was so manipulative, but that was what I had an article done on me, and I was the last idiot that was still paying his mortgage.
I can picture that.
Yeah,
Let's get
and
that.
I don't even know why we got onto that. But I was going to say there are opportunities in those crashes too, man. There are people who never had homes that got homes too. Yeah, I mean, nice
person.
homes.
Yep.
So
yeah. So right now, back to the stats: median home price flat, 480 something. Average home price continues to go up. And for my non-mathematicians out there, the difference between median and average, median is far more well-weighted. It's if you took every single sale that occurred, laid it out, it's that middle number. An average takes into account the price of every sale, and it's unweighted. So we have lots of 12 million, 20 million, 15 million. Like we are just record after record. Land is trading for 8 figures right now in Summerlin and in Askaya and Henderson. So these numbers are getting skewed, and you're watching the average home price tick up. So what does that tell you? Yeah, our top half are doing very well. People with money they see this as an opportunity, and they're continuing to build and buy. It's the average person that's not. And I'm no socialist. I'm just saying, for this engine to keep running smoothly, we need the majority of people to transact. Like this industry is built off of transactions, not prices.
that's a problem, bro. Really, to me. I mean, that's.
We need to sell $400,000 or $500,000 houses
I get
for every
it.
$2 million house that gets sold as well. And right now it's like 1.500 to 1.2 million.
I get it, but the problem, I have become, I've been in business for 40 years now. That's a long time. And I have become exhausted with the troughs and peaks of the housing industry. It's fucking exhausting. So like we're in this period right now where old Colton here, he's calling for stagflation, but Colton can't even pronounce the Straits of Hormuz, I think he calls it, but we're not in stagflation.
Shots fired.
We're not in stagflation. We are not there yet. We're going to be in this period where if you work, a guy like you in this flat model is going to do great. 80% of them are not going to be able to make it in real estate.
Yeah, because I'm going to do great because people are going to drop out because it's not easy.
Well, just you don't even need them to drop out. They can live in misery and be the 72% that didn't do a transaction for the last 12 months, and I don't know how they're making a living. But I mean, people who are tacticians and just are in it for the right reasons will do their 20 and 30 deals a year. I just don't think we're ever going to see those hypermarkets. I talked about it on the last show. I drove a 911. I looked like I don't even do drugs, and I looked like a drug dealer. I mainly lived in Adidas sweatsuits, and I would literally go to my office in Summerlin, pick up a stack of checks, cash them, and kind of like the way Josh Galindo lives, dude. That dude's a baller. I was kind of a baby Josh Galindo back then. I don't think we're going to see that anymore, man. I don't think we're going to see that. I think if you really...
Why? Because you're talking about transactions.
I'm talking about
Checks
transactions.
are transactions.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, volume.
I don't think we're going to see that in American real estate business anymore. I just don't think we're going to see it, not for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And I think wages will continue to creep up, and I think inflation will.
I need the numbers in front of me, and I'll have them prepared next time. Like sales volume today versus, let's just say, 2018. So now, like 2 years before COVID, 18,
Let me get my
19.
mind in 2018.
So, like, is this a
2018,
case
yeah,
of
okay.
2021, 22, 23, we were just doing 100 miles an hour on the freeway, and now we're doing the speed limit? As in, we're doing the same volume we were doing 8 years ago? I don't know.
Well, I mean,
pull those stats.
I mean, I'm like a cheap attorney. I don't pose a question without an answer. I know what to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We can spend the rest of the show telling you what I'm going to do, and you'll probably help me. Even though I will always build that house on the cliff, I only need to do one a year to get my satisfaction. In fact, before I went to Florida, I swore to myself I never needed to do another one because I cracked 2 gorgeous homes. One of the homes I sold, people don't really realize what it's like to be a custom home builder. One of the homes I completed, I had tracked that lot for 15 years.
Wow.
And I finally got someone to buy me the lot and give me the money to build the home that I wanted to build. Do you know how hard that is to do? I mean, Medici did it. There's a lot of artists that get people to give them money, Warhol, whatever. That's kind of what I do. I just get rich people to give me, and I'm always right. I always make money. The guy that I built, the investor that I did it with I said, I'll give you a 7-figure check. And he got $1,050,000 at the end of that deal. So I always make good. But I swore I actually thought there's really nothing left. Like I've actually gotten to the point now where I see a really cool house where I don't even look at it because I've built everything. I built 50 some custom homes now. Just about every idea I could come up with, I built. But if I could do 1 or 2 a year, that's fine. But where the money's going to be made now is you see the ugly houses signs on the telephone poles? Mm-hmm. That's where the money's going to be made.
I agree.
There are some amazing houses that superficially look like shit all over Las Vegas. Yep. There are nice little office buildings. I was driving down Buffalo today. Somebody put a 2-story office building up right in front of a blue heron. I'm like, where did that come from? Well, probably 4 or 5 doctors got together and said, I want an office building.
Tired of paying rent?
Yeah. That's where and you're a developer. Yep. You've done this kind of stuff.
I see it for sure.
That's where the money's going to be made.
This town needs more interesting architecture.
It's not just this town though. It's every single town in America. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, I only know this town well from real estate perspective. And like we were just sitting on a lot of late 90s, early 2000s beige and oak stock.
Yep.
That needs, as you mentioned, just cosmetic upgrades. It might need windows and a roof at this point too.
It may, and that's fine. We re-roofed one.
Yep.
We re-roofed one a month ago. We did ourselves.
Yeah. So, I mean, my new business, we're doing cashofferspecialist.com. We're getting into that game because I think that's where the money's to be made. And it's funny, like you mentioned, Warhol, and like, I actually think real estate's also an art. And I've been mocked by investors for actually thinking it's a creative endeavor.
No.
And I enjoy.
What was your project, Seto, that you did?
Yeah, we did a project called Seto. We just
beautiful.
Completely, this building was built in, oh man, I'm just going to say 1950, give or take.
Great era, though.
40 late something. It was a boarded up fourplex. There were technically 6 units in there, 2 of them illegal. And it was just this gorgeous mid-century architecture. And it's just cinder block, but flat roof, which is all cool now, but the original, right? And it would have been cheaper just to bulldoze it and build something new. But we just literally took it down and left the block and kept the footprint and just made it a modern building within a 50s shell. And it was a niche product that, we broke a record when we sold that thing. We sold it in 1 week because there was nothing like it, and it was pretty and it was beautiful.
It was art. That's art. It's design.
Yep. And shout out to Bunnyfish Studios. They were the architect that worked with me on that design. And I think vision and perceived value, as you mentioned earlier, really does sell homes. And Vegas has been cookie cutter, buy this floor plan, every house is worth the same. It's actually going to be harder for brokers to start pricing property because once we start making some pretty, this one has got prettiness to it, and this one's ugly, even though they're the same house, there's going to be a 6-figure spread on what those start selling for.
Well, it's funny. I've been lucky, I guess. Talking to you, I feel very fortunate. You're almost like my therapist. But my wife is 10 years younger, and she said something the other day, and only the age difference would have made this happen. So I told her, I said, you're not going to recognize downtown Las Vegas. Yours was in downtown Las Vegas, right? Yeah. I said, you're not going to recognize downtown Las Vegas when you come back. And she's like, what do you mean? I've been invited down there to a couple cigar bars bars, a couple restaurants, the barbecue restaurant down there.
Soul Belly.
Yeah, and if you'd have dropped me,
Shout out to Bruce, Chef Bruce, Soul Belly.
yeah, a New Jersey barbecue dude. Yeah, good barbecue.
He's a good dude, and it's good food.
Yeah, so if you'd have
I was
dropped
there
me,
last night. The Arts District is completely transformed.
yeah, if you'd have dropped me out of a helicopter and didn't tell me where I was, I'd have called like Dallas, some kind of regentrified, was it Clematis
Austin.
Street in West Palm or something.
Right.
And then we're talking about it, and she goes, "Oh," and my wife's a different cat, dude. But she's her comment was, "Oh, well, they'll probably fix it up." And I'm like, "You're missing the whole point here." When I was young, I didn't want fixed up.
the grit.
I wanted the grit, and I wanted to roll out of my apartment with the Miami slide windows, and
Yeah. You want both.
and she was nice enough when we were dating. Try long distance dating from Australia to Vegas, but I went down and
One of my best friends did that. Just got married down there.
because you
worked out
pretty
for
much
him.
give up. So one of the trips I went down there, I don't even know how she afforded it because she's a professional dancer, a real dancer, not a Vegas style dancer, and she rented a loft for us because she didn't want me to stay at her in laws' house because she was 28, I was 38. We were a little old for staying at the family house. And I'll bet you that week was several $1,000s, but it was a regentrified post office turned into a loft with a whole view of Darling Harbor. And that's the way they want to live. That's a Seto story, not a William Lyons slapped up on a monolithic
No soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're putting up these big monster $2 million homes in Summerlin West, and they're just like these massive. What bothers me is like the setbacks. There's no yards. You're this far from your neighbor. I can look into your bathroom. These are $2.5 million homes on postage stamps. Wouldn't you rather have something with a little more character?
Yeah, I mean, we're remodeling one now, but we've remodeled dozens. And I would say by the time I'm done with my career, I bet we'll have remodeled 400 or 500 of these things. And basically what they're buying is a Lennar box. And then again, I can explain how that works because I worked for those companies for almost 10 years. I mean, there are MBAs with degrees in construction technology that sit in rooms figuring out how to save $20 a house. Because when you multiply that by 22,000 houses,
Get it.
so the clients buy them and then they call us. And then we rip out the plastic molded showers and, we basically take it down to framing. We try to smooth out the walls the best we can. Both from a plumb standpoint and a stucco or any drywall finish. And then what are we doing in this house? We're doing flooring. Cabinets weren't bad. We just did new tops. Built in a real entertainment center, not a faux entertainment center. Showers, bathrooms.
So this was a brand new build.
Brand
that they just
spanking new
gutted.
house. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that on my last house.
And I don't really think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
I mean, I really don't.
Because,
it's
well,
kind of
actually-
wasteful, but
That's the downside,
Yeah.
but the builder markup was absurd. So I paid.
You mean
less
on the
and
options?
got more? Yeah. So I could have gotten.
Yeah, if you-
Lennar is the type of builder. The options are terrible. Sorry, that's their whole thing.
Yep.
Everything's included.
Yep.
My builder, the options were really nice, but I just looked at the margins. I'm like, you want to charge me how much to upgrade the flooring? No, I'll just rip it out and do it myself.
Yeah.
And they got hip to that. You'll appreciate this. So back in the day when we did that, we would just say put carpet and vinyl put carpet everywhere. And then they would have to put vinyl in the wet areas.
Yep. So we did a Pulte.
So carpet everywhere possible. Now they were like, no, only carpet in the bedrooms. You have to. So they made me put tile because tile was much harder to rip up, and it just increased my costs for labor.
I will say
It was intentional.
I will say that's okay in like if you have a compartmentalized toilet because you really don't want to be ripping toilets in and out if you don't have to, like maybe in that area. The rest of it, I don't know why they would make you do it other than they just want to make more money.
No, they did. They were like, I'm going to make this very hard on you to do flooring elsewhere. But
So talking about these agents,
yeah.
so Mike Rowland was going to come on. I haven't got him on yet. He had something happen. He opened a new office, and we were talking about how, and I had this happen to me, that's when I said, you need to come on the show and talk about this. And he had some personal stuff going on, but he'll be on. But we were talking about how he rents this new office, and he doesn't want to spend a fortune because he's just kind of going on his own with his EXP thing. LPT thing, sorry.
Yeah.
And he said he was interviewing an agent, I guess, and I didn't get the full story, but something along the lines of they were sort of maybe turning their nose up at the office. And I said, dude, let me tell you something. That is so funny because I I had agents. I rented the nicest office you could rent at the time period, and it didn't really do anything for the productivity of the agent. It really didn't.
Probably the other effect
Yeah.
where
So
they just hang out there all day and not work because it's so nice.
so then we were talking about like the way they dress, the things that they do. During the COVID thing, there was one of them that was on TikTok in a very what's the word I'm trying to say? Evocative bikini. Now, I've only seen that in Las Vegas. I mean, Florida gets a little crazy, but we were talking about the Sirhan mix with the fashion and the cars and the almost said the word buffoonery, but that's not what I was trying to say. You know, just does that really matter? I mean, the waltzing through a house in the Halston dress thing.
Okay, so to that person doing that,
My wife wouldn't go see the house because of it. If that.
So you're immediately, good point. You're just completely isolating yourself to people who have different intentions, perhaps. And is this your career business plan for the next 20 years? Are you going to look that good in the bikini when you're 60? Like, is this your
Okay? I didn't even thought that far ahead. So
is this a business you're building? Also, these are major 6-7 figure transactions. Don't you want to be taken seriously? Like. So Brendan and I in our partnership, the whole thing is actually modeled after a law firm business model.
I've used that model for years.
Yeah, it's nothing
in a
new.
law firm.
Yeah, Brendan and I are the senior partners who are going to take care of your business as if we're our own.
Yep.
Real client, you are a client. There's a definition to that. Looking after your interests as if they're our own, which is important. If you ever read Your Duties Owed, you're an agent, read it. And then there's associate agents who are going to be also very serious. They're going to be paralegals essentially representing us and you. That's how businesses should be run. I want to be thought of more like a professional, whether that's accountant or lawyer or doctor. I mean, I'm not, again, we're not saving lives here, but just thought of as a professional.
Well, you're creating lifestyles. So,
but there's a lot could go wrong. Like literally your house could kill you.
Yeah.
Or you could lose hundreds of thousands, or et cetera, et cetera. So, like, I got a friend, Jim Slack, love you, buddy. He has this house he bought with a different agent, and it's okay. That's a different story, Jim. You owe me one. He's actually, no, we're good. So he has shoddy electrical in his attic, and he's in the business, commercial real estate, construction. He's done it all. He worked at DC Building Group. He's done title.
Great company, man.
Extremely intelligent with them. Person. And he's like, it's fine. I go, you know why that's not fine? If a fire happens, it's not going to happen. Okay. It's literally extension cords running in the attic to different light fixtures. Okay. That could happen. Fire happens. Do you think the insurance company is going to pay you money after the fire? Because he was like, if there's a fire, there's a fire. I was like, that, he's kind of tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Second thing, he has Christmas tree lights and things stored up there, fake Christmas trees in boxes. These attics, most of these builders, they're not built for storage. They're not fire rated. And in fact, the insurance company will say that is a accelerator, and they will deny you that claim. That's just one story I told a friend who wasn't even a client that may have A, saved a life, B, saved him from having to build his house up out of his own pocket after the insurance company denies the claim. So the point of this story is like, this is serious business. This is not bikini business.
But I just don't understand. Like I had an agent that worked for me, and he was a fairly successful agent, and he's born and raised here, which I tried to explain to him is not a flex. People don't look at native Las Vegas. It's like if you're born in Boston or something, it's maybe, or I don't know, but it's like.
I mean, I'm born and raised in New York, and I definitely leveraged that when I got here.
One of my best friends.
Respect to the locals.
What? Well, it's New York. Yeah. It's not Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So, but one of my best friends, the Compass guy I told you about that started Compass in Naples, the dude is the most precision real estate agent on earth. Like I literally would go over to Mike Ferry and listen to him. He'd do the seminars, the calling and stuff. I'm like the clients on the phone, I'm like, dude, that wasn't a real client. He goes, I swear to God. I mean, it was like candy from a baby, dude. Just literally, because they're calling Naples for listings from Vegas in the workshops. Cool. And I was like, that isn't real. Yeah. And he's like, I go, you set that. He goes, no, I swear to God.
I'm gonna give a take back to my local Las Vegas realtors. I want to say now it actually has some meaning because it's a rarity. And if you're from here and you can say, I've seen all this get built, you can leverage that.
Well, I think what I said to him is, why don't you ever tell people you're from Naples? And he's like, doesn't matter. And I'm like, really? And I'm not talking like Joe's not like a successful agent. Like Joe went to Compass in a Learjet. He flew there and asked them where he could land his jet to go and interview with Robert Refkin, and he is the founding agent of Compass in Naples. And so whatever he says, you just need to kind of follow. And I'm like, why don't you tell him, get a little shticky in there, like, why don't, I went to Naples High, because they don't care. They don't care. So anyway, that one agent that worked for me was constantly like, I'm born and raised, I'm a native. I'm like, stop saying that. It's like, it's not a good thing, really. And then
I disagree. It's a good thing.
But the ones that get me are the like they're standing in front of the whole house in the new dress, of course, I don't know how much women's dresses are. I probably could check my American Express, but I don't think they're cheap.
Rent the Runway.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Our
it's
next sponsor.
so I just don't get it. Like, nothing about the structural. Going back to the house hanging off the cliff. The house hanging off the cliff was $2 million before they got to the framing. That's what you should be talking about, and the truss situation, and maybe Lamborghini's making tubs now.
You're talking about.
Are you serious? I'm serious. Do you know Lamborghini makes tubs? It's the third time I've mentioned Lamborghini. I'm gonna go get a baby Lamborghini. But those are what you should be talking about.
Agents are selling themselves and not real estate too often.
Did somebody say to do that? Is there a seminar out there that?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Missed that one.
Because I don't care about that in an agent.
Like, you need to sell yourself as far as your reliability, dependability, market knowledge, and being a decent human being. I sell myself on that.
But what about the music in the background and
about
the wistful yoga positions and I can't even say the sayings like I knew I had it in me, and you know what I mean? It's like I don't get.
I just laugh like, if my lawyer did that, would I hire
Oh
him?
my God! Can you imagine your lawyer or your doctor?
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Yeah. Okay. So that's all we need to do on that. That's all we need to do on that.
But honestly, if that's you, go for it. It's fine.
Okay. So you're saying, I think the ones that I have in my mind are doing pretty well. So I have to say that the ones I'm thinking of,
Yeah.
they're doing pretty
Well,
good.
sex sells. I'm not saying.
Are any men doing that?
There's funny videos about that. Men in little red dresses, like if men sold like.
There is a guy. I think he's a Berkshire Hathaway guy. There was a designer in town. I talked about this spec before. It was probably the most intricate spec I've ever built. It was unbelievable. I would go out on a limb and say no one has done the level of remodeling. We were changing shear walls in a 3-story house, if that means anything to you structurally, moving structure. I mean, craziest stuff, ceramic fireplaces, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then next to me, a hedge fund bought the house. So now I have a competitor on the street. So we're now, like literally, and then the guy's wife was a designer. I can't think of her name right now. And I think we won because we sold our house and we got a pretty decent margin. But her marketing made us look stupid. I mean, they didn't even do as nice of a house as we did. The house was shoddy, flat out shoddy.
Okay.
She produced a feature-level film, and it happened to have been raining that day in Las Vegas. So it was like this
good sky,
sepia style, yeah. And there was a male model, and I'm not gay. I have a wife and 2 kids, but I could still be gay. But I'm saying I'm not. And so the model she hired, he was a realtor with Berkshire Hathaway, and they did a whole movie like ripping sheets off the bed and going through the bathroom area and everything. It was beautiful. And I called her. I said, "How did you do that? Like, how did you make it rain that day?" And all that stuff. She starts laughing. She's like, "It just happened, Michael. It was beautiful." And the dude was a realtor, and I go, that is probably the most handsome man I've ever seen in my life. And I guess he was a realtor. So maybe he does sell that. I don't.
So you said you sold it for more? You were the
I
winner?
think we won because we were the first to sell, and I think we built a nicer house.
Well, the nicer house will sell more than the nicer video.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was jealous of that video. I mean, and I was jealous of the video. It's that simple. But I guess the whole question is, do we need all this stuff? Do we need all this stuff in the real estate?
You need good marketing, and I think that's a good video. It obviously attracted your attention, and I kind of want to see it now.
For the wrong reasons, I guess.
Yeah. If it's done tastefully.
Yeah, it was very well done. Like, she should have entered it in a film festival. Jeremy, you would have been proud. This guy's got a degree in film. It was very, very well done.
That's what I mean. You hire a guy like Jeremy, you can have one.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's the way to go. I have seen other videos. I got another buddy. You should meet all these people. You would love them because they're hardcore realtors. He's up in the Philadelphia area. He's a musician and a filmmaker, and his videos are little kids jumping out of the vans and running through the yard, and he's demonstrating the yard that way, and they go down to a creek with
I love that.
Yeah.
So I've seen something like that. I definitely want to meet him. This is why I love masterminding with other agents. because you're selling the sizzle, not the steak. You're
Right.
selling the lifestyle.
Right.
The house can change. Like, even if it's a beautiful house, like the paint, the cabinets, doesn't matter. It's the parks. Where am I taking the kids? The dog swimming in the river, all that stuff.
That's what makes it a home, not a house.
Yeah. Like, so I've done a little bit of it in higher end homes because I'm a cyclist, and this one guy, he's a fellow cyclist, and he rides his bike from his house. So I was like, well, let's do that in the video, right? Let's show people where the trails are
On the bike.
So we droned and we rode.
That's a good idea.
We rode from the trail into his driveway and put the bikes in the garage. And it's just show it, right? Instead of saying near trails, let's film it.
Well, I did have a piece of land I sold to, I sold part of it to Ryan Pineda, and I sold the majority of it to, what's his name? Philippe Ziotti. What's his company? Growth. Really successful guy here in town.
That name.
All in all,
Yeah.
So I got this piece of land, long story, listed it, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to develop it, but I would have needed $20 million to develop it. So I started a sales effort, pre-sales effort, and I was just going to hard yard it all the way through. And,
Sorry, what's hard yarding it?
like instead of just taking a check for 20 million, putting in the roads and developing it, I'm like, I'll sell one lot, develop that house, kind of, the roads are already in. So we'll just kind of get it, just do it the old fashioned way, one at a time.
Yep.
And it was working. I sold 2. Ryan came in and bought part of it. He really gave me a lot of exposure because he's really good at marketing. Yeah. And then I had a pretty good month, and I called my ad agency at the time, which is Quillen. And Tim's about my age. He's a real ad man. And I said, dude, I need an identity for this. Like I wasn't going to do the beautiful videos or anything, although I did do a nice drone flight. And he said, I'll help you out. I probably spent $5,000, and he ended up naming it, giving it a logo. Nice. We did some nice site plans. We did a little bit of stuff. I sold it for $10 million in less than 30 days. Wow. Yeah. So branding, a little bit of effort.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, did I want to drop $5,000? Did I want to put the sign up? I made $350,000 on one transaction. I mean, what's the ratio on that? So I get you've got to do things, but I don't know.
I think branding really sells. Lifestyle sells.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the name was because whoever bought it named it whatever they wanted to name it. But
you mentioned my project Seto. That's just a name. It meant one in Mojave dialect.
Oh, God.
Because
It
was my first project.
That's thinking.
And it was just giving it a name, I think, added $100,000 to the value of the building.
Yep. 2 things. The book. Cadillac Desert. If you're worried about water in the desert or you're worried about water anywhere, read this book. You'll understand that every place on earth has a water problem. It is steeped in corruption, sex, drugs, rock and roll. It's all in this book. It's one of the most difficult books I've ever read. The guy wrote it in the 80s. It hasn't changed. It's only gotten worse.
I'll put it on the list.
Yeah, you may not read it. You may just plink. You notice how that's page marked in all different places.
Is it heady? You mean like it's?
Oh God, it's beyond anything I've ever even. And it's biblical, but it's very, very informative. That gentleman's passed away. Mark Reisner, I guess is how you say it, but it is still the foremost body of work on water, period. And you know who gave it to me? My structural engineer, who is a real structural engineer from New York City, Empire Structural Engineering. If you ever need a structural engineer, call him because that's great. And then I misquoted something in the last show, started a chat GPT combo. Remember when I said one of the Forbeses said that Las Vegas was going to be the first major city of the millennium? Do you remember me saying that on the show? I do. It's been misquoted. It wasn't the Forbes. It was a guy named Hal Rothman, who's a historian for UNLV. And this tapers into what we've been talking about. I'm going to let you expound on this. He didn't say it was going to be the first great city of the millennium. He said it was going to be the first city or new city of the millennium. And what he meant by that, and look it up if you're interested, but I'll give you the synopsis. It's the first modern city built on, you've got agrarian cities, you got Detroit with automotive. This city is built on experiential entertainment and just kind of like white collar, new age things. And he said that is going to be how cities are come to be known in the future. And so that was the quote, and kind of gave me a chill, man. Yeah. I mean, we're really pumping up Las Vegas, and for good reason.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I love it, man. I mean, yeah, this town was built on entertainment, and it was blue collar entertainment in the beginning. You know, the building of the Hoover Dam.
Yep.
And now it is definitely
I
white
didn't even
collar
thought of that.
entertainment.
I didn't even thought of that.
Sport. Yeah, I mean that's the history of this city. Something for these guys to do, the laborers, and now it's something for the white collar guys to do. And it's constantly evolving. I can't keep up on how many experiential things there are to do. My buddy last night was telling me about the F1 arcade at Caesars, and the
Oh, God, I haven't seen that yet.
yeah, Area 15 is expounding with 3D, goggles where you walk through virtual worlds with other people and play games in a warehouse that becomes this virtual world. And we went to Viking Mike's, this awesome cocktail bar on Arch District. That's just like you're in a yurt, drinking in a yurt in Norway.
That's kind of cool.
And you walk in and there's freezing cold air they blast you with. And
Where's this at?
Main Street. It's awesome.
Jesus.
Great cocktails. Viking Mike's was amazing. And it's just, I'm in there. It's all oak. Everything is real wood. There's a smell of wood and stone. They put money into this
I
bar.
gotta go see this.
Lighting's awesome. You'll love it. Stained glass, and you're like, this is so Vegas.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I've never seen anything like this.
he had a couple. I may mispronounce. We'll have to get our favorite architect. But he said hyper branding in themed. It's either simulacrum architecture or simulacrum architecture, but strip malls, resorts, stage environments, privatized public space, reliance on networks, air travel, digital booking, casino surveillance, cashless systems, rapid reinvention. You brought up the Boring Company, car dependency, urban sprawl, infrastructure shaped by big capital rather than incremental civil.
Dude, you said a phrase right there, rapid reinvention.
Yeah.
That's the definition of Las Vegas.
But I heard this saying, and it was before the millennium, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. We're going to be the next cool thing. I had no idea what this guy was talking about until we did the show.
The money and the powers that be, they spend a lot of time in researching what's next and what people are actually doing, and we set the trends here, and they're willing to implode a $1 billion property to build a $2 billion property. People are not afraid of taking risks and starting over, and it's like we get shunned for that too, because it's like, oh, we don't have old buildings. That's just not this city. You want old buildings, go to London.
Yeah, we do have a few old buildings, but that's not what we're all about.
That's what
here.
we're known for.
Yeah.
We're known for new, and that's what the identity of this city is going to be.
Yeah, and I think the tech portion of it's going to be, there's going to be a lot, to that.
Yeah.
I mean, so,
and
I know we're Wired. I know Wired magazine had us as one of the top 10 Wired cities.
Yeah, Google's coming.
Yeah.
New internet's coming.
And I've heard these really weird, strange stories about some major thing that runs through, and that's why we have Switch and that kind of stuff. There's some line that runs through underground Vegas or something, and if you come near that thing, the secret state jumps out of the tumbleweeds or something. But
Lots of mysteries.
But with Nellis and Switched and that kind of stuff, I think that's going to be part of
We
it.
love Las Vegas.
Yeah. Well, I'm exhausted.
Until next time.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it.